All right, what's up, guys? I'm back. We're still here. I wonder if this is a first. Is this like the first ever triple header, especially for live cast? I know Bahamut obviously does like a lot of... Bahamut has done a lot of... like he'll do like back-to-back replay casts. But I wonder if this is like a first ever triple header for a live cast. Only possible because I went with this strategy of instead of picking up all the casts ahead of time, I picked them up just after I finished each match. So, our last series for the night, for sure the last one, I promise there's no fourth series, is Div D West, and it's going to be Skeleton Shenanigans versus Rainbow Shrooms. Now, I didn't have a lot of time in between matches to do a whole lot of homework. The only thing I do know is that Skeleton Shenanigans does have a map record of 1-6, and they have not yet won their first series in NGS, so they're really looking out for it. And they're going to be kind of against a tough opponent for it tonight. Let's see. Rainbow Shrooms is at a 5-5 map record. Haven't checked the actual series because, unfortunately, with the way NGS works, I can't see how many series a team has won. Like, it won't just show it as a number. Instead, if I want to see how many series a team has won, I need to go to their team page, I need to look at their results, and I literally need to count them. And that is... We're going to get into like my criticisms of like NGS website things where I think series win-loss is important data, important information, and that is actually not easily available. You literally have to count it yourself instead of it just being on the website. And I think that's very important. So that is my criticism of NGS standings. I don't know how we suddenly turned from that, me complaining about NGS rule sets and website stuff. When we've got this match coming up, Skeleton Shenanigans, Rainbow Shrooms Go. I cast a match of Skeleton Shenanigans a little bit earlier in the season, not too long ago. And Skeleton Shenanigans, they found their first map win in the series that I had cast them. We're going to see how they do in this series. I definitely think they're going to be up against a tough opponent. So good luck to them. But, you know, we don't know how things will go for sure until it actually happens. Let's take a look at our map screen here. So we'll take a look at the map picks and bans. Hopefully that lobby is also up soon, and indeed it is. So, the map bans are as such. Cursed Hollow and Garden of Terror were banned out by Skeleton Shenanigans. Tomb of the Spider Queen, or Spooters as it was referred to in the chat, and Towers of Doom going to be banned out by Rainbow Shrooms Go. That's their old name. Now they're just Rainbow Shrooms. And that does also mean that Rainbow Shrooms, they had the map pick and they decided to go to Dragonshire. Dragonshire, in my opinion, a very challenging map to play. There is a lot of complexity to it that makes it really challenging. Thank you for the kind comments. Sultry Satyr. I had to look that up once. I'm pretty sure I said it right. I actually don't remember. I looked it up once for the pronunciation to make sure I had it, but then I forgot already. Satyr or Satyr? That's a shame. I feel so embarrassed. But no time for that, because we've got a match coming up. All of our players are here, so I'll let them know that I'm ready, and with any luck, we'll be going into this draft pretty soon. So what's up, guys? It's King Andrew here with my third cast of the night. Started at 5 p.m. Pacific time. It's now 8 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be going up to like 9:30, maybe even 10 o'clock Pacific time if this goes to the third game. We'll see. So far, it's just been 2-0 series with the first two series that I cast. They've been some good series, like some sick games, but they've both been 2-0 series. Whereas in the past, I've gotten some 3-game series. And yeah, we're going to be getting started anytime soon now. Just trying to make sure all of my things in here are right. Just making sure we got the correct players. I think I do. I think I have all the correct players. So yeah, I've been starting to use this feature in Soothsayer where it's just a feature. Like if you cast, you also know where you actually input the names of the players. And what I typically do is I make a guess of who I think is going to be playing that night. Because teams, there's only room for... In the Soothsayer, there's only room to put 5 players' names in per team. But of course, on the website and in NGS, you can have more than 5 players on the team. You can have up to 9. So typically what I do is I literally guess who I think is going to play. that night. I just look at the roster and I guess. It's usually not a completely blind guess, but usually I get one or two wrong. This time I actually got it completely right. Every player who I thought is going to play, and we have our draft coming in here. So I unfortunately, one of the disadvantages to my strategy tonight of just literally picking up a new cast right after I finish another one is that I have like almost no time to do any homework or research. The only thing I can really do is just look at the map record, because that is just shown up right when you look on the schedule of the calendar, you click on the team matchup and you click on it and it'll tell you both teams map records. Makes it really easy to see. Would prefer it if it was series record, but map record is what we get. Rainbow Shrooms currently looking like the stronger team, 5-5 in maps. With 5-5 in maps, that does mean that Rainbow Shrooms is probably not at the top of the standings, but they still at least appear to be a stronger team than Skeleton Shenanigans at the moment. For all we know, that could change tonight. We don't know what kind of practice these teams are putting in. We don't have that inside look. Hopefully they are, especially if either one of them are struggling. And these bands are actually coming out pretty fast. The Vala band coming out. Vala, generally just a really strong hero. Kind of just with her last rework that she got in either 2020 or 2021, I don't remember. She kind of just got like overtuned numbers buffs and made her a really good hero. Nice bands coming out on both sides. Johanna banned out, pretty typical in lower to mid divisions for that to be an early ban. Hogger is just a super strong hero, although he is really rather challenging to play. And the Rexar is going to come out pretty early. I mean, the Rexar, it is something that is pretty good for holding the top shrine. I forget what it's specifically called, whether it's a shrine, an altar, a beacon. It's definitely not a beacon. Beacon is a Braxis only thing. Tychus is going to come out. Tychus is a hero that I'm pretty fond of. I'm personally very comfortable with the hero. I do think picking Tychus in the 1-2 is a little sus. He does contribute a lot in the sense that he does give you good wave clear. He gives you good single target damage. He gives you respectable AoE damage. He is both good for burning down a tank and can also work against squishies as well when he can get in range. But there still is a lot of room to counter him and make it difficult for him to stand and shoot when you pick him this early. The Anduin coming out is really strong. Muradin picked up by Gossamer on the other side, and the Chromie by Atomic Alien. Chromie, someone who can be good as an anchor, can also use those time traps as a way to provide vision in the all-important triangle that you have to rotate through to get from mid to bot, or vice versa, and the Brightwing is going to be banned out as well. So taking out one of the top healers in the game. I would say right now, 3 of the game's top 5 healers are off the board and are unavailable for Skeleton Shenanigans to pick. Now, of course, in Div D, although there are certain healers that I think are strong, or heroes that I think are strong, it does also come down a lot to what are the strengths of the players and how are they going to play to the strengths of the players. Diablo's also going to be banned out, and it's going to be the Anu picked up by Kizo, along with Gazlo by Sylvester Chung. I don't know how that offlane matchup works between Rexar and Gazlo. I'm going to say very tentatively that I feel like with the correct micro, I feel like Rexar can get the better end of Gazlo. Gazlo is something that I feel I just don't see that often these days. He had a time where in his old rework, Gazlo was like just not a very frequently played hero. Then he was reworked, overtuned, made really good, and then he was played for a while, and then he was nerfed again and then didn't exist anymore. And then he was just like very uncommonly played. But the Zeratul in that last pick, ooh, I think I recall this. I think I recall, not in a cast that I've done, but in a cast that I've watched someone else, or that I've watched in Rainbow Shrooms playing another match. Wizard Beast playing this Zeratul. Obviously, Zeratul is a super polarizing hero, and definitely not something that you commonly see in Div D. It's a mechanically demanding hero. Frankly, I'm not confident on Zeratul. Forgot to do all my hero input things. I just was getting tired. Not quite up to full power, but yeah. So obviously we got some Wizard Beast hype in the chat, and we might see why soon. The Zeratul, obviously a pretty scary hero when in strong hands. So we are going to go into our draft for game number 1. That is not the draft, and we are not going into the draft. So right now, the mental faculties are starting to leave me, as this is my third cast of the day. But we're not done yet, and I still just got enough tank in the gas. No, I did that on purpose. Enough gas in the tank to make it through this last cast. Melkor is going to be here playing on the Rexar. Silver Spy is going to be our Lucio player. Gossamer on the Muradin. Atomic Alien on the Chromie. And Jay Trinja on the Zul'jin. Their opponents looking a little bit better in terms of series record and possibly the favorite in this map. Wizard Beast on that Zeratul. Howlin' Knight is going to be on the Anduin. Kizo is going to be on the Anubarak, Sylvester Chung on the Tychus, and finally, it's going to be Demon Grand on that Gazlo. Now, of course, one of the great things about Gazlo, even though he is not that commonly played... Oh my god! This is awesome! Wow! Oh my god! I wasn't expecting that to just happen like that. Wow. So yeah, this team right here is Rainbow Shrooms. They are not messing around. That was some try-hard stuff. Just fully going up there in 5, completely ignoring that early mid-fight. And just getting that gank here, that easy gank there. I mean, Rexar just never stood a chance. Atomic Alien looking like maybe was up here to try to catch the soak for a little bit, but ultimately going to move back down. Atomic Alien definitely probably wants to be playing more bot. Chromie is definitely more of that anchor hero that you would use to just kind of hold bot lane, clear the wave. Jay Trinja looking for the camp here. Gossamer jumping out. And Zeratul is rotating around. Atomic Alien definitely going to need to be careful. Probably the most vulnerable target for a Zeratul. All right, so Siege Camp's going to be picked up on both sides. Silver Spy trying to harass a little bit with that Lucio. And Skeleton Shenanigans trying to push in here, but Gossamer is pushing up right into Sylvester Chung, who is just firing his minigun uninterrupted. And that does mean that Gossamer is going to have to step back a little bit. Gossamer does have third wind, so if he just steps back a little bit, he'll... Oh no, oh god, this is... They are bullying Melkor right now, and this is, I mean, this is just something that Zeratul does, and it's something that Rexar in particular is very vulnerable to. Rexar can be a very strong hero, but because of that this unique mechanic of Rexar basically being 2 different bodies, the Rexar body itself is not nearly as tanky as a more traditional bruiser, something like a Dahaka or a Urel. Really just nowhere near, because a lot of the tankiness of a Rexar comes from managing the bear and letting the bear tank for Rexar. Gossamer in a huge amount of trouble, does jump out, but jumps right into Wizard Beast. Can Wizard Beast finish him off? Cannot. Jay Trinja putting some pressure into Zeratul, and actually does find that kill. Very nice play. I don't think they can walk in here, though. They still have to give up the point, even though they found the nice kill into Zeratul. They have to give up that point. There's no one actually to take it, and Atomic Alien has kind of been stuck mid. That is a little bit of a shame here. Melkor trying to play this, but actually having some trouble against Demon Grand. I could also be wrong about my initial thoughts on Rexar. Oh man, I'm just missing the kills wherever they happen. Muradin goes down. Can't find the kills wherever they... I think I probably just got to follow the Zeratul. That's probably where the kills are going to happen. Nothing Silver Spy and Jay Trinja can do about this. What do they do? I'm going to say I kind of think I want Atomic Alien to just abandon mid. I mean, I guess the problem is, who do they rotate actually to get the soak? I think maybe it needs to be something like Chromie anchors bot, and then maybe Gossamer, Jay Trinja, and Silver Spy rotate. I mean, you have a Lucio. I think the Lucio needs to be part of that, kind of accelerating the rotations. The wave clear on that 3-man, though, is not great. The most wave clear is on Atomic Alien, and even Atomic Alien on that Chromie is not really super great wave clear. Basically has to use the Dragon's Breath, and since we have a Q build Chromie, it is not really... there's no talent into the Dragon's Breath. All right, Melkor going to be up here. So is the Dragon Knight, along with Zeratul inside it. Jay Trinja responding appropriately from behind the wall. Does mean that Jay Trinja does actually really just get to burn down. Oh no, Jay Trinja. That's a hard name to say because of that combination of consonants. Jay Trinja. Got to slow down a little bit on that one. Gossamer moving into the enemy camp. All right, so kills currently in favor of Rainbow Shrooms, and this Zeratul is definitely something that is, you know, it's died once so far, so it's not like it's been completely unanswered, but it is something that is pretty strong right now, and again, not something you see very often at the Div D level at all. I mean, honestly, at any level of play, Zeratul is not super common. It is definitely more in like I want to say like A+, where you're definitely gonna see Zeratul players. There are gonna be people who are gonna have it. Div D, it's pretty rare, and if it does come up in Div D, like that can be super polarizing to actually have someone in Div D who's gonna play a reasonably competent Zeratul. So, and the Zeratul is something. Zeratul is also a super late game hero. Depends heavily on being at least at level 16, and then also spike super hard at 20 as well. He's reasonably functional right now between having Seeker in the Dark and Might of the Nerazim, but is going to depend a lot on some later talents. This is basically W build Zeratul. Usually W build Zeratul. I think you usually go quest at 1, but this is just going to allow him to move really fast without even having to mount. Yeah, he doesn't even bother to mount. Atomic Alien in a bit of trouble. So still there. Finishes the kill. Yeah. So unfortunately, this is not really working out well for Skeleton Shenanigans. Chromie is the most vulnerable target to the Zeratul, more so than the Zul'jin, because the Zul'jin can fight back more against the Zeratul and has Taz Dingo. All right, Gossamer getting hit again by that Tychus. The Tychus doing very well. You know, I did question the Tychus first pick, but you know, it's working well. Probably just a strong hero for Sylvester Chung, making it hard for Gossamer to do things. And another Dragon Knight here for Rainbow Shrooms. Once again, the Zeratul is in the Dragon Knight. I guess that's just happening because Zeratul is the one who is roaming around the map and is most frequently in the position to pick up the Dragon Knight. The only thing I'm a little concerned about with that is that they lose their Zeratul, who, you know, at this point kind of does seem to be their hard carry player, their big difference maker. And that's not to, you know, downplay the contributions of the other players on the team, but the very nature of a Zeratul is something that is very polarizing, is something that is going to potentially make very big plays, change the way the game is played. Like, I just don't think the Chromie can really be mid. Oh my god, and apparently Gossamer can't be right here, but does get a nice cleanse from Silver Spy. So he is going to be alive.
That beast is not my beloved. Not anymore.
Uh-oh, Gossamer in trouble, does get rooted, but he does jump out. No damage really to answer this Tychus. Alright. Zul'jin unfortunately hitting some of his autos on the minions, missing the other players on the team. Howlin' Knight pretty low and a little bit of anti-synergy there, but it doesn't matter. They're still winning this fight quite handily. And Zul'jin, even with that Taz Dingo, is not going to be long for this world, and that'll probably be the bottom fort taken. And another kill happening. The Rexar going down as well.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Yeah, it makes sense, Ezo. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like in the one hand, like it's definitely true that, like, if you are actually executing the burst combo with W build, you don't really need Blink CDR. But I also feel like this talent, Move Unseen, doesn't really give enough compared to what Quest gives. I mostly play W build Zeratul in ARAM, and I go CDR. It's definitely more important in ARAM, but I also feel like the Blink CDR is kind of just a stronger talent than Move Unseen. Anyway, 5 people down here for... 5 people down here. This is funny. Someone gonna die soon. Oh, all right, he gives it up. I feel like he had the opportunity to actually just kill Melkor there. Could have just harassed him. Instead, he's gonna... This is interesting. Yeah, I feel like he had an opportunity as Melkor was walking by to just go on Melkor, but chose not to. You know, they're still winning quite handily. Skeleton Shenanigans gonna take this bruiser camp. Gossamer gonna jump in, looking to contest this. Gotta wait for the rest of his team to just hard rotate around because they're not Murd and they can't jump like that. Now Gossamer doesn't have any jump to get away. Just eats the full % damage from Tychus. Oh no. Melkor and Jay Trinja, they do manage to dodge the gravel bomb, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. I think they still are gonna die here. It's just a matter of time. Melkor's gonna hope he can get out of there. Jay Trinja needs to not lead them to him. Okay, Melkor gets out. Yeah, because there was no way Jay Trinja was going to make it out, but it would have been really, really tragic if Jay Trinja led them to Melkor and then Melkor didn't get out either. Because the only way Melkor gets out of there is if he hearths, and if he gets his hearth interrupted, he just does not make it out. All right, Muradin's pretty low. I think Gossamer does need to back off. I think they just need to, they gave the fort, they had to. Now they just kind of need to defend at the core. All right, Gossamer has a little bit of his health back. I don't think that they actually end here unless they get kills. So there goes the slowing stance. Oh no, big gravel bomb going to be resulting in those kills that I just said that they would need to get if they want to end here. Little bit of anti-synergy. I couldn't even tell what happened there. I think they got hit by the rocks, they got stunned. And we're just seeing huge damage going onto this core. Sylvester Chung, nobody's doing anything about him. He's going to drop into Odin. I don't even think he needed to do that. But he is just going to do it. Just make sure he uses that. And yeah, that is a commanding Game 1 victory going in favor of Rainbow Shrooms. So glad you guys are enjoying yourselves in the chat. Yeah, I was super worried there that Melkor was going to die when if his hearth got interrupted. I mean, I think they even saw Melkor, but it was just the hearth was just so close to being channeled that they didn't touch him in time to actually get a kill on, to actually interrupt the hearth. But it was still very, very close to being tragic for Melkor. So, obviously had a pretty big disparity in kills, which also leads to pretty big disparities in damage. Lucio being top damage on the side of Skeleton Shenanigans is definitely highly unexpected, and I think, yeah, I mean, that's just tough. I mean, they felt the need to have Chromie mid, and just as a way of making sure that the soak in that lane was being gotten. I think part of the issue there, you know, Chromie is like a bot anchor. She's actually better, I think, in the bot lane of that map. But then their other assassin, Zul'jin, has very low wave clear, even worse than the Chromie. So they didn't really have a great way of kind of rotating and making sure that they quickly got the wave clear. I mean, I think the best they have is they just rotate Lucio, Muradin, Zul'jin through mid, and it's just the three of them clear together, even though none of them have great wave clear. It's just 3 heroes clearing the wave. Will still clear it reasonably fast. For sure, the Zeratul just needs to be banned in Game 2. And Game 3, if that happens. And Sylvester Chung obviously just got the huge damage numbers, got it just minigunning into a Murden who wasn't always able to answer him. I mean, I think in this case, if you're playing Murden into Tychus, I think a lot of times Murden just kind of needs to be going in on Tychus as best as he can to disrupt him, not let him shoot, make sure he gets the... I mean, both of his cooldowns, basically, like stun him and then probably try to wait for the stun to expire. So then you use the Thunderclap, and you also get the AA slow on Tychus, so that even once he's not stunned anymore, he's getting reduced value out of his auto attacks. So I'm not seeing anything up yet, and we're gonna take a look at our map screen, adjust that a little bit. We are going to update things because our winner for game number 1 was Rainbow Shrooms. A little bit of history. Rainbow Shrooms was previously called Rainbow Shrooms Go. I think that was... It might have been... There was definitely a Go at the end of it. The idea was that they were a sister team to another team that was called Team Rainbow Strike Go. Maybe it was even Team Rainbow Shrooms Go. But at this point, it seems like they have, they've stepped away. They've kind of gone off on their own. They're out of the nest or whatever, flapping their own wings. This is a terrible metaphor. Not a good analogy. I just don't have it. Just the brain cells are leaving me. But yeah, this is pretty tough. This is pretty tough. It is definitely... Rainbow Shrooms played really well that game. For sure, the Zeratul just straight up needs to be banned. And then they just need to try to deal with whatever else Wizard Beast has. Now, I did Div D West earlier. I don't know if Div D East is a double round robin division. We'll go back here. While I'm here, while you can see me, I'm King Andrew. Do want to thank you, to thank those people recently followed. Thank you. Giving me the challenging names. Already mentioned our sultry friend, but thank you, Zankai. I think that's a reasonable attempt at that, Zankai. I could also see it. Actually, I'm not sure what else could be. That's close enough, Zankai. It better not be Zankai. That Zankai. We go with that. Zankai. 21. What a year that would be. What is this bit? Anyway, we're into map 2. Thank you all for following. I'll just go back here. I'm King Andrew. Good to have you. I can't even go through all my things. I cast NGS. I play NGS. I do some other stuff too. We're kind of winding down. We're going to make it through this series. We're going to make it through this series. Tuna Breath, good to still have you here. And the second map of the series is going to be Braxis Holdout. We've already seen Braxis Holdout tonight. We'll adjust that. I'll ask them who picked the map. And we'll get this going. So, map was picked by Rainbow Shrooms Go again. So, that does mean that... does mean that Skeleton Shenanigans wants that first pick. So, I'm going to want to see, what do they want to pick first? Do they want to get Johanna, just because that's common? I play DPS in NGS. I'm currently on a team called BG Nepotism and Corruption, which is a Nexus Div team. And it's my first time being in Nexus Div. Thank you, Power to the... This name is so long that it's actually getting cut off. Power to the Pineapples, I think. Getting cut off in my OBS. I play DPS for a team called BG Nepotism and Corruption, which is a Nexus Div team. It's my first time in Nexus Div. Before that, I played in B, D, and C. I don't know why I went out of order. Wouldn't it just make more sense to say B, C, and D? But I played in B, C, and D. So it was a bit of a jump for me, but one of my friends was on a team, and he asked me if I wanted to play on the team. We were actually originally trying to be in Div A. We were kind of concerned about being in Nexus. We knew it was a possibility. We wanted to be in Div A. Kind of in part because some people on the team just wanted to win the whole division. We thought our chances were better in Div A, which I'm not actually sure is true. I've scrimmed some of the Div A teams. Actually, I've only scrimmed one of them. but the one team that I've scrimmed in Div A is, let's just say it's like pretty even. And the team that I scrimmed in Div A is, the team that I scrimmed in Div A is like only in the middle of Div A. So I feel like I'm kind of having this feeling that I'm not even sure if like the teams in Nexus Div are actually better than the teams in Div A. But we're in a draft. I'll quickly. So I play DPS. I'd say my preferred characters at the moment are Vala, Sylvanas, Tychus, Greymane, Li Ming, and Tracer. And with that, we are going to move into our draft. Talking about Vala, she is sadly not going to be played in this game. So wave clear is important on this map. Wave clear was also an issue on the last map. That's why in a different series that night, in a different series this night, we even saw Gul'dan on this map. And Gul'dan is not a super common hero, but Gul'dan has mega wave clear. And so much wave clear that he was even the only DPS hero on a different match. Why am I talking about different match? We got this match here. Brightwing is banned out. Super good healer. Super good healer. And the Tracer banned out. Talking about the Tracer, that means they're not going to ban the Zeratul. They're going to leave that in. Wow. That's kind of rough. I mean, I don't know what else Wizard Beast plays. Does he play Tracer? Like, I don't know if they... So, if it does come down to Wizard Beast plays both Tracer and Zeratul, frankly, I think Zeratul is probably better on this map anyway. I think he's probably better at rotating to punish the offlaner. So the Zeratul goes through, at least for now. If Rainbow Shrooms does not pick Zeratul in... Okay, that's going to be Melkor with another first pick Rexxar. I'm concerned about... I'm actually... You know what? I'm actually going to go as far as to say that I'm not happy with this. Not because I don't like Rexxar as a hero, but because they're first picking this. And yes, Rexxar can be very good on this map, but they're first picking Rexxar when first pick Rexxar really got punished by the Zeratul. Really got punished by the Zeratul last game. So here's the problem with banning Tracer instead of Zeratul. Zeratul has better way of transitioning to top because he can blink over the wall from the boss area, and Tracer can't do that. Tracer has to make much longer rotations in order to rotate up top to punish the enemy offlaner. Like, it can still happen, but the Zeratul just has much quicker transitions between lanes because of blink over wall. Lucio going to be banned out. So that target ban onto Silver Spy. Lucio is super good in general. And it is also something that I think Silver Spy is... they're going to ban out the Tassadar. So they're going to risk the Zeratul. We'll see how it works. They're going with the Zul'jin again. I think whatever atomic... I mean, of course, wave clear is important on this map, but they're not going to be splitting on this map the way that they were splitting on... the way that they had to split on Dragonshire just because of the nature of that map. So, we're going to see if they do pick up the Zeratul. They might not. Like, Genji is better than Zeratul in this map. Obviously, they can serve similar purposes. A lot of similar picks going out both ways. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head how many of these heroes are the same as last match. Definitely not all of them. The Johanna is new for Kizo. But that Tychus for Sylvester Chung is not. Which is fine. Tychus also provides really good wave clear if you go into the grenade talents. And Demon Grand going to be on that Gazlowe yet again. The Malfurion out of Silver Spy. This is actually really... Okay, it happened again. Well, those are going to be our drafts for Game 2. Good luck to them. All right, game number 2 in this best of 3 series. We've got Skeleton Shenanigans. Going to see what they can do. Kind of doubling down on some of these hero picks. Atomic Alien is going to be on the Chromie yet again. Gossamer on the May. Silver Spy on the Malfurion. Jay Trinja will be on the Zul'jin. Melkor is going to be on that Rexar yet again. Their opponents, Skeleton Shenanigans. Just kidding. The first team was Skeleton Shenanigans. This team is Rainbow Shrooms. Kizo is going to be on the Johanna. Howlin' Knight is going to be playing as the Anduin. Sylvester Chung is AFK. And on that Tychus. Wizard Beast on the Zeratul is already looking to bully Melkor. Oh no, leave Melkor alone. Demon Grand on that Gazlo once again. Those are our players and their respective... those are our players and their respective heroes. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how this goes. And unfortunately for Skeleton Shenanigans, I think there were some adaptations in the draft that probably should have been made that haven't quite been made. And you know, in Div D, I'm not sure what the comfort picks of these players are, what their or really what their hero pools are, So, you know, it's like, what else does Jay Trinja have? What else does Atomic Alien have? I'm not sure. I do feel that they probably could have used a little bit more wave clear. And, yeah, I mean, and maybe something that wouldn't be as vulnerable to a Zeratul top. But for now, this just seems to be what they are comfortable on. And they're just going to try to make it work as best they can. We'll see how it works. I mean, they haven't bullied Melkor as hard yet. He hasn't died. Whereas the first game, he died so fast. Oh, no. Atomic Alien. Oh, okay. I think Wizard Beast dies for this. It's kind of just making a statement at this point. Making a statement. Because that's just a trade in kills. All right. Big Condemn comes out from the Johanna, pulling all 3 of the blue team members that are here. Silver Spy is a little bit low. And the Malfurion is also something that I'm a little surprised to see. Malfurion has great sustain, which is actually really good for Braxis. But he typically struggles a little bit into burst, which I feel means he could be a little bit risky into a Zeratul, but gets a sick root that actually keeps them alive. They still just don't have that much health here that I feel they can't just stick around here very well. Melkor, on the other hand, is currently allowed to just be playing a 1v1 against Demon Grand. So he is actually holding the top beacon for the moment. Or will he? Uh-oh, Howlin' Knight nearly going down, but doesn't. Manages to get a heal on themselves, and Jay Trinja just too far forward, and the beacons are going to start channeling in favor of Rainbow Shrooms. I was about to say Skeleton Shenanigans and just say the wrong team name. Pause for a second, thought about it. Gossamer going in here, does get it stunned onto Kizo. Kizo does get pulled out. Can they finish off Kizo? No, they can't. They don't have the dive to go in after an Anduin pull. Yeah, periodically, Wizard Beast will just come over here, make it hard for Melkor to play the game. Demon Grand is even going to go. This is almost kind of a bait, but Melkor is going to go as well, so Wizard Beast is just kind of standing here. And that kind of just means nothing is really happening on the map right now whatsoever. Now, one of the good things about the Malfurion is if he goes Twilight Dream, which is not the standard, that can be very powerful into Zeratul. It's not the standard, but it can really mess up Zeratul if he can connect it. Wizard Beast roaming again. Just doesn't bother mounting because he does go with that move unseen. All right, now he is being seen, though. His move unseen, not quite living up to its name. Gets seen by Gossamer. Does get revealed for a little bit. And, well, for now, Melkor is allowed to play the game. And again, probably this turret, this shield talent from Gazlo probably makes a big difference in terms of how that matchup goes. As long as Gazlo can start putting down those talents, probably makes it hard for the bear to sustain. Wizard Beast taking a lot of damage. Also, we do see that Hungry Bear. I saw that in an earlier series. I don't remember
what talent Melkor actually picked in the last game if you went Hungry Bear. Hungry Bear is usually not the standard talent for Rexar at this tier. Usually Hunter-Gatherer is the go-to. But Hungry Bear is particularly good for when you are trying to duel an enemy offlaner. Unfortunately, for Melkor and for Skeleton Shenanigans, Rainbow Shrooms are not really letting it just be a duel. They've got people rotating. Frequently the Zeratul, and in that case, even the Tychus. Condemn comes in from Johanna. Jay Trinja getting caught a little bit. Jay Trinja getting burned down by Sylvester Chung, but they're turning on Sylvester Chung. Unfortunately, it's Jay Trinja. It's a hard name to say because of the way the interaction of T and R works in the English language. In the English language, when you put the letters T and R together, I'm literally talking about fucking letters while Gazlo is dying. When you put the letters T and R together, the change of T actually changes to the sound of a J. Which makes it especially confusing when you have another J sound in there. With No, it doesn't change to a J. No, it changes to a CH. It changes to a Trinja. It's D that changes to a J. Anyway, enough with the English grammar lesson. I'm literally a former elementary school teacher, but that's not what you guys are here for. You're here to watch Zeratul rotate up to top and take the beacon and make life hard for Melkor. Uh-oh, Jay Trindra doesn't have enough health, and Wizard Beast with the flank, trying to go for two. Can he get Atomic Alien? No, he can't. All right, that is going to be full Zerg wave coming in favor of Rainbow Shrooms. I don't know why, but for some reason, I really want to mix up the names of these two teams. Anytime I want to say something for Rainbow Shrooms, the word Skeleton Shenanigans is about to come out of my mouth. Pretty soon, it's going to become Skeleton Shrooms. Anyway. Full Zerg wave up top. I think Jay Trinja should probably be up top trying to help with this defense. As it is, this Zerg wave is going to take a decent amount top. I don't think it's going to take the fort, but actually I could be wrong about that in the moment. I could be right. Demon Grand pushing alongside it. Blue team trying to see what they can get bottom, but they get the front wall. They get a little bit of the fort. How much of this fort goes down? Much more of it than the other way around. And I'm missing a kill again. And it's going to be Jay Trinja along with Silver Spy. It's pretty rough. All right, so level 10 talent tier advantage for Rainbow Shrooms, not Skeleton Shenanigans. They're going to pick up this camp. I wonder if they could have just pushed. I mean, they don't really have a minion wave, and then with this they will. Wizard Beast with the back at about 80% health and mana is making me question my life a little bit. But he's also kind of popping off, so you know what? Let him cook. Wizard Beast, of course, just rotating around. Can't enter the bush, let himself get perma-stealth or true stealth, rather, not perma-stealth, true stealth. He's got Silver Spy here, easy potential target, but misses the Singularity Spike. God, that was a hard ability name to remember. Johanna's gonna walk into the root, but it's not gonna do much. And Skeleton Shenanigans do pick up the camp, but Jay Trinja goes down without even managing to activate Taz Dingo. I'm not sure if it would have saved him, even if he did, but didn't even get to do it, or just missed it in the moment. Kind of a big Ice Wall Blizzard, also possibly a little bit of anti-synergy. I think the Blizzard hit, like, during the Ice Wall. Unfortunately, not much they can do about it with one member dead. Glad you're having a good time. To my friends in the chat. Anyway. So, things just kind of evening out. You know, this is not a terrible game state for Skeleton Shenanigans. It's not a great one, as it is likely that they are going to be down 13 talent here. A gank onto Demon Grand would be fantastic. That would be like exactly what they need. Even going to throw out the Boars, but I think the Boars hit a wall or something. God, if they don't kill him, it would be super tragic. They're going to kill him. They're going to kill him. Red team going to just kind of trade that out by finishing off that top fort. That top fort was pretty much dead. I think that kill is kind of just the best thing that could have happened for Skeleton Shenanigans. So I kind of don't like Mei splitting off from the rest of the team like this. This leaves Jay Trinja very vulnerable. I heard the singularity spike from Wizard Beast on that Zeratul, but it didn't sound like he actually teleported in. Ice Wall is going to miss, but Kizo is going to go down. So, Skeleton Shenanigans actually making things happen. Jay Trinja going to heal up. Silver Spy a little bit low. Does have to be careful of this Zeratul, who is currently capturing the point. Demon Grand coming in here. Gonna have Gravel Bomb soon. Potentially could make something happen. A little worried about when oh no, Silver Spy goes down. Rainbow Shrooms not minding going in. Down. They're down. They were literally down. It was 4v5 and they were willing to just go in. Kind of just the power of the Zeratul into these squishy just squishy heroes. And that is going to be the boss taken by Rainbow Shrooms. So this is now, we're looking at a pretty strong game state for Rainbow Shrooms. Demon Graham tanking a little too much damage here, so, you know, they're going to get the boss no matter what, but typically, you kind of want, I think it's a good idea to, the way I say it is split aggro, which is, if someone's getting down to like 30% health, switch who is tanking the boss. Oh no. Another engage coming out. Jay Trinja does not have Tazdingo. No way he makes it out alive. Finished off by the shield glare. And another person goes down. That is going to be both DPS down. Oh no, Gossamer's still in here, and he's going to probably go down as well. Wizard Beast managed to get that teleport in. And yeah, I mean, you know, there's no way to slice it here other than Skeleton Shenanigans is just kind of struggling, and Rainbow Shrooms just showing how strong they are at the moment. And, you know, it's kind of a tough call when, you know, banning out, you know, a polarizing hero, and like, what else do they have? And Tracer can certainly be a really, really scary hero when played by someone who is good at the hero, but, you know, I kind of just think with how the game one went, they lost to the Zeratul. I think you ban out the Zeratul because you kind of know how that went, and take your chances on the Tracer. Tracer also provides less wave clear, which is also kind of an issue on this map. Anyway, Ice Wall goes out. Not much is going to happen to it. Sylvester Chung gets pulled out of the Sands of Time. This is 16 to 13. This push with a boss. The boss is nearly dead though, but I'm still wondering here if they could be pushing for game. All right, we do have some people actually getting caught, and that might be Tychus going down. We have Chromie stuck inside her own timeout, does eventually have to release it, or it just expires, so we aren't going to see game go down. We aren't going to see the core down here. We aren't going to see game, but we are going to see Demon Grand continuing to get more value up here. At this point, it might even be worth it, even if he dies, and he's trying to go for things. All right, it got a little greedy, maybe, but Wizard Beast can trade it out. It was greedy for Gazlo to stay there. It was greedy, but of course, Wizard Beast on this Zeratul finding ways to even make some of the greedy plays work. Wait a minute. Was that kill just on a bear? I thought he got a kill. Yeah, that was just on a Misha, so actually that was not super worth it. I mean, this damage is good. This damage is good, but he could have left earlier and not died.
Smoke 'em.
All right, so Rainbow Shrooms at this time kind of just painting the map red. Oh my god, Wizard Beast. This Listen. This here, Wizard Beast on Zeratul. Not only does this need to like stop in this game, this hero just kind of needs to be permabanned by every other team for the rest of the season. If I'm like really honest here. Nice engage. This was really nice. I really like how they pulled it off. Like Zeratul kind of granting the vision. Kizo coming in with the blessed shield on these heroes that are too far out in the lane. Really well done there. Okay, and of course, and there comes Demon Grand, not wanting to be left out. Comes in with the grapple bomb, finds another kill, and I think they do actually just push for game here. Yep, we're going to see Odin dropped. Wizard Beast is a KDA gamer, though. Wizard Beast is not even on the core. He's trying to get more kills. I'm trying to make sure he killed Melkor. Bully Melkor yet again before the game was over. Didn't even need to do that. He literally just could have all in core. Like, if that's me, like, not that I'm even playing Zeratul, but if that's me, like, I'm just all in on core. Like when you're on the, I'm very much like an all in core person and not the person who's gonna try to like be greedy and try to get more kills. But you know what? I'm not Wizard Beast. I'm not in this game. And you know, congratulations to Rainbow Shrooms for getting a victory. That is gonna mean that they are now batting better than 500 in at least their map record, because they were 5-5 going into this. Rainbow Shrooms, that is. Rainbow Shrooms is now 7-5, which I don't think puts them at the top of the standings. And you know, maybe there are teams that, you know, are better at dealing with the Zeratul, but you know, it's good for them. And clearly, this Zeratul is just like I was gonna say a secret weapon, but it's not even a secret at this point. It's not even a secret. It's just a weapon that they have. I'm trying to think. There's some kind of phrase here, a silver bullet, maybe. That might be a phrase. That might be a thing that Rainbow Shrooms has that is just really strong. So let's talk. Yo, my boy Ray, it's good to have you here. Let's see if we can message someone for an interview. Get ourselves into one last lobby where we will talk about things. All right. So, messaged. Also, I'm going to make sure that I go to my interview scene so that we can hear the person I'm interviewing. And so it turns out the person we're going to have in the interview, I messaged Howlin' Knight, but it's going to be Wizard Beast who's going to be coming in for the interview.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. Congratulations on your victory. And of course, congratulations on your performance, where you just got to kind of show off and pad your KDA. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, no, that was a good win, and we were really happy about that. Able to get some of our favorite heroes in it, and turned out really well.
Were you surprised that Zeratul did not get banned out in Game 2?
Yeah, our whole team was thinking we're just waiting for the Zera ban. We're like, oh, well, let's start thinking of other plans, and then when it didn't get banned, we're like, well, we'll stick to kind of the same thing as the first game.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of went the same heroes the first game, so you guys kind of went a lot of the same heroes, and it kind of worked out the same way in the second game as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I kind of figured, because especially with Zera, I like doing a lot of roaming, and we figured since we had map pick for that one, Braxis was a good choice to kind of keep the same comp with it.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to end up talking a bit about the Zeratul, because it was such a big part of this series, and obviously it's a big part of you as a player. This Zeratul is not a hero that many people dare to play. It is a challenging hero. Even in like higher divisions, like there will be Zeratul players, but it's still not like everyone plays it. What drew you to the hero, and how did you get good on this hero who is quite challenging?
So I originally started out actually as like Tracer was one of my main heroes, and I just always loved heroes with like fast movement and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was actually funny because I started getting countered as Tracer against Zeratul players, so I played Zeratul to kind of learn how to beat him, and just actually ended up falling in love with the hero, and watched a lot of YouTube videos on it of like how to do different timings and basically, you know, when to kind of invade and do different jumps and everything. And yeah, I just fell in love with the hero and started playing a lot on him.
Yeah, yeah, because I noticed you like to go Seeker in the Dark builds. I wasn't even doing a good job of playing paying attention to the talents. I would assume that you go like the Might of the Nerazim upgrade at 20. I don't even think either of these games went to 20. Certainly the last one did not. Because I've seen some of the videos too. I don't know if you've seen some of the exact same ones, but where it's like literally showing like all the different button combinations, and it's actually like just so intricate. So yeah, I mean, props to you. And tell us a little bit about, you know, this team. I've seen this team around before. As far as I know, you're relatively new to it. At least I don't think you're an OG on this team, but you know, tell me about this team and also, you know, your relation to this team and your connection to it.
Yeah, so I'm relatively new. I just joined this team about a month ago for the start of the season. And it's honestly been a great team. Everyone's been really friendly and, you know, welcoming aboard and everything. And we just have been getting along together. And, you know, at least I first joined in, it kind of took a little bit of learning and everything. But, you know, I feel like especially these last couple weeks, we've been really blending together and like listening to each other's call outs and everything. So it's just honestly, it's been a lot of fun. And I think this team before me has been together for a little bit. I'm not exactly sure. I think Hallen and Demon have been together for a little while on here, and I think Kizo's also a newer person on it.
Yeah, Kizo's not a name I recognize. I've seen this team around before. I think a friend of mine also previously coached the team. So I've seen them around a bit, couple seasons.
Yeah, so I'm just really happy that they ended up letting me join the team like right before the season started. So I was really lucky to be able to hop on with them.
Very good. And so I didn't have too much time to do too much research, but I did see that the map record for your team was 5-5 going into this, obviously 7-5 going out. So, you know, it looks a little bit better. And kind of where I'm going with this is that tonight looked extremely dominant, but I take it there have been some other teams where that has not quite been the case. And I'm kind of just wondering, you know, where are you looking to go as far as the season goes? How do you think your chances are going into playoffs? And I don't think this is a double round robin division, but out of, you know, the teams that you're still have to play, this is end up being a huge, incredibly overconvoluted question. Just tell me about the future and the teams you're looking to play.
So yeah, for basically our future games, you know, it's at first when we were going into the season, we were kind of a little bit worried, thinking that we'd be an underdog team, and we ended up actually kind of surprising ourselves with how we're starting to do and really mesh together. So we're really actually looking forward to our future games and everything. We know we have still a couple of the higher up teams. I think there's still Rolling Thunder, I think is right now #1 division. So we're definitely looking forward to that game.
I think I did catch a cast of your match against them. Oh wait, did you play them?
No, we haven't played
No.
Rolling
Okay, never
Thunder. We
mind.
played Maximum Thrust. That was a
okay.
recent one.
Yeah, I definitely caught a recent one. I caught a recent one where I think you played Zeratul in the first game, and I think it got banned the second game, and then you played like Li Ming in the second.
Yeah, that might have been in one of the earlier on ones.
Okay.
But yeah, no, yeah, we're just honestly looking forward to the future, and for playoffs, we're definitely aiming to make playoffs for sure. And we think, at least of how we've been playing these last couple weeks now, we think we got a pretty good chance of making it in.
Very nice. Very nice. And a little bit about your hero pool. Like, obviously, like at this point, people are going to know you play the Zeratul. Like, it's going to start getting banned out. What are you going to start playing, like, instead? Like, you don't have to give away too much, but, you know, especially if it just goes to, like, you know, regular ranged heroes, like, I feel like it's not that big of a reveal. It's like, oh, what? You start playing Sylvanas or Vala or something? It's like, those are just heroes.
Yeah, so Yeah, mainly my hero pool has been the Zera Tracer, and that's what we've been a little worried about because in our games, Zera's been banned, I think 7 of them so far, and Tracer's 5 or 6 of them. So it's definitely been hard on me because I had a main focus of just those 2 heroes. So I'm trying to just pick up more ranged and melee assassins
Yeah,
right
I
now.
mean, I'll tell you, like if I were if I were to advise like every team in the division, I would not allow you to get that hero for pretty much the rest of the season.
Well, I'll take that as a
That's
good
also my
compliment.
yeah. I mean, it is like some of that's my perspective, which is that like personally, I would rather deal with a tracer than a Zera. Of course, a tracer can still be very threatening. Yeah. So wait, and I kind of like almost cut you off from the question, but what else do you have in terms of ranged heroes up your sleeve? Like, what are you working on? What would you pull out if you really do just not allowed to play tracer or Zera?
Definitely trying to work on some more ranged mages. Been messing around with like Ming and Tassadar, so like Orphe and stuff. So haven't really settled on anything, um, since most of my games have been just on Tracer Zera. So I'm starting to just do a lot of practice on other heroes to try and get those heroes equivalent to my Zera and Tracer gameplay. Um, but yeah, mainly doing some ranged mages and then kind of like how you're saying standard of maybe like a ranged volley here and there and Sylvanas and whatnot.
All right, very good. Well, I think we're gonna start to get to the end of this in part because I also need to like go to sleep or something soon. Not that it's that late, but I've been a little busy tonight. What are any shout outs you have before we close off this interview?
Yeah, so for shoutouts, definitely my team. We played a great match tonight. Really proud of them and how we've been doing so far this season. Shout out to my friends. A couple of them are watching the stream right now. And shout out also to you for picking up this stream last minute. We're always, really excited when there's a caster and everything. And it's always fun to, after the match, go back and look at it and, see all what they were talking about and everything. So thanks
Thank
again
you.
for grabbing this last minute.
Thank you. All right. Well, I think with that, congratulations on your win. I wish you many more moving forward. And I'm sorry when your Zeratul gets banned out for the rest of the season. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night.
Goodbye. All right, guys. That's it. That's finally it. There is no fourth cast. There's no fourth cast. This was an interesting experiment, a crazy experiment of casting 3 series in one night. I kind of just saw that Thursday is normally a very busy night. Thursday is almost always the busiest day for NGS matches. But tonight was actually looking very, very sparse in terms of casts. There were very few series that were actually being covered in cast. And in fact, I did 3 series. I think before that, I think there were only 3 other series covered. So I think by myself, I think I doubled the number of series cast. I think there might have been a 7th one that was picked up. But yeah, and this only worked out because I decided not to actually pick up the additional cast until after I had finished the series. And I literally picked up the cast last minute, like 15 minutes before the next one. Because normally in the past, when I've done double headers, if you're going to plan a double header ahead, you have to leave a 2-hour buffer time. Because if you don't, and a game goes to 3 series, you're not going to end in time for the next cast. So yeah, that's what I did. It worked out. It was interesting. It was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely, some of you guys staying for this 3rd series. Seem like you guys are having a ball in chat. Sultry, really, you seem to have a great time. Love the positive energy you're bringing. Don't know who else is here, but whoever else is here, thank you for being here. We're about to close it off. I'm King Andrew. I'm an NGS caster. I'm an NGS player. I'm an ARAM enthusiast. I'm a former school teacher, and I am a voice actor. And it's time for me to say goodnight. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.